Oh yeah. Workaholics, oh yeah. Who's first time here?
Yeah.
All right, welcome. All right, who's our out-of-towners?
Right here.
Oh yeah, straight from the airport?
Yeah.
What part of town?
Burbank.
Came in from Burbank. Oh yeah. No, where you from?
Me?
Yeah.
Melbourne, Australia.
Holy shit, all right, that's a hell of a flight. That's like a 3-day flight, everybody. And this is his first stop. He's got his priorities on straight. That's great. All right. I thought I came from a far place. I'm from Washington, D.C. originally. You guys know where that is?
Yes.
The guy from Australia knows, nobody else. None of the Americans know, which is absolutely true, because since I moved to L.A., I realized not a lot of people out here do know where that is. In fact, I was talking to this girl the other day. I said I was from D.C. She's like, oh, I've got family there. I was like, cool, what part? And she said, Seattle. I took her home immediately. Because dating in Los Angeles is very difficult, if you weren't aware. It's very difficult. You just set the bar wherever it fits. Usually it's right about here. That's where we set the bar. But seriously, like if you're from out of town and you're trying to date in LA, like forget it. It's like you find yourself doing shit on dates out here that you would never, ever do in your hometown. Like out here you find yourself at a vegan restaurant, listening to some girl go on and on about her $80 yoga mat, and you'll just want to blow your brains out. Eventually I interrupt them and I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're bragging or complaining about your $80 yoga mat, because I don't know what those things are supposed to cost. And then she says all condescending, well, it was ranked number 2 in Yoga Magazine. And I'm like, well, in that case, mine costs $300, except I call it a fucking sofa. Which, incidentally, is where I spent that night. It's crazy. Is there bad traffic in Australia?
Not as bad as LA.
Oh, okay, all right, thank you. It's absolutely true. We are the leader in bad traffic here in Los Angeles. It is so bad that if you're on the 405 and you think you're having a good day, that's the day that the Cessna is going to crash land on the highway and fuck it up for hours. And every day it's one person. It's somebody every single day that just fucks it all up for everybody. Like, I feel like if you're dumb enough and you have an at-fault accident, you fuck it up for 50,000 people and make us all late for an hour, then I think that you should be banned from driving on the highway. Right? Thank you. Thank you. I'm very serious about this shit. Banned from driving on the highway if you cause an at-fault accident. Your ban will be like however long the delay was per person. 50,000 people late an hour, that's 50,000 hours you're banned. Now, I did the math here. That's 2,083 days, which works out to 5.7 years. 5.7 years will let you back on the 405. Maybe. There'll be a test. Not a hard test. You'll have to take this square peg and put it in the square hole. If you can't do that, you probably cannot merge a motor vehicle. Not allowed back on the highway. But while you're stuck in that traffic, you get a lot of time to listen to the stupid radio commercials. They're just getting dumber and dumber and dumber. I guess along with the median intelligence level out here or everywhere. But like I heard this rehab clinic commercial. Like the name kind of stuck with me. It was a rehab clinic in Malibu, and it was called Cliffside Rehab. Right? This is a real commercial. Cliffside, because that's where I want to be when I'm battling drug addiction and thoughts of suicide, right? I want to be right there on top of that cliff. But the commercial was good. It was good. The guy's got that soothing voice, and he's like, are you depressed? Are you addicted to drugs, Jose? Are you thinking of killing yourself? Well, take a leap of faith at Cliffside Rehab. Because let's face it, you'll probably go back to using drugs anyway. Chad. And I was like, oh my God, that hit close to home. Oh yeah. But then I was quickly relieved because the next commercial took my mind right off of that because it was about candy, and then it was another one of those stupid commercials. Like, have you guys know what Skittles candy is? Hell yeah, you do. It's delicious. Skittle, okay, they probably call it like the cassowaries or something in Australia, but it's like this fruity flavored candy. It's multicolored and it tastes sweet. Okay, so we're all on the same page now. Skittles candy. Their new commercial. They get this kid that comes out with Skittles stuck to his face. Have you seen this? And this other kid starts picking the Skittles off the other kid's face and eating them, and he's like, "You've got the Skittles pox." And then the new tagline for Skittles, no bullshit, it's Skittles, contract the rainbow. What? Contract the I don't want to contract anything from my candy. Like, who's vetting these commercials? They're like, yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's Brad, you get the employee parking space for the month for that one. That's almost as awful as, have you guys heard the new Dunkin' Donuts commercial? This is another true bullshit. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. The new tagline for Dunkin' Donuts, it's Dunkin' Donuts, slide into Dunkin'. Holy shit! Slide into Dunkin'? Are we selling donuts here, or are we recruiting Catholic priests? Like, slide into Dunkin'. Another legal team vetted this whole thing. They're like, this is brilliant. Jose, you get the employee parking space for the month. That's genius. We're going to be using that forever. And we want to keep that Vatican endorsement deal. Right? We just slide into Dunkin'. Oh, yeah. Or the Snuggie commercial. Have you seen this? The Snuggie commercial? Like, you guys know what a Snuggie is? It's like that big fleece blanket that you can just kind of sweat and gestate in. It's amazing, very comfortable product. So comfortable, in fact, that they get ripped off by this other company in Canada that started selling the slanket. The blanket with sleeves. And I was like, damn, if I was going to do a ripoff of the Snuggie, I would do it a little bit differently. Like, my commercial would be like, not a Snuggie, not a slanket, introducing the Spanket. The easy access jerk-off blanket for men. Comes with pockets for tissue and lube. Your mom loves the easy cleanup. No more questionable socks or crusty towels. Just toss off and toss in the wash. And who doesn't love the soft feel of fleece on your junk? Soft as a lamb without the sheep or the shame. Just call 1-800-SPANK-IT. All right. Gets a little creepy at the end. It's all right. And then there's some products that just don't have. Oh Jesus! This another creepy one. The new Pizza Hut commercial for their new stuffed crust pizza. It's stuffed with a sausage, like a hot dog. Have you seen that? Like, oh my God, what the fuck? And that's awful. The guy's like, check out the new Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza, bursting with succulent sausage. Free mustardy drizzle. And I was like, what the fuck? Couple red flags for me there, guys. First off, I don't want anybody's sausage bursting anywhere near my pizza. And what the fuck is free mustardy drizzle? Like, it sounds like a venereal disease you catch overseas. And when is free mustard a selling point for anything ever? Like, I'm gonna go to Pizza Hut and not Domino's because I get free mustard at Pizza Hut. Like, holy shit. But there's some products literally don't have commercials, and I'm like, okay, why? I've never seen or heard a commercial for an abortion clinic. You know, have you noticed that? I think they just haven't found the right ad campaign. If you gave the place a good, solid name, something upbeat, say, call it Happy Fun Times Abortion Clinic, I think it would do well. And I think if you had that same Cliffside rehab guy come out with that voice and he'd be like, tired of throwing your girl down a flight of stairs. Tired of taking her on the loop-de-loop 28 times in a row. Tired of trying to sneak the morning after pill into her Lucky Charms. You know, the green ones, honey. Well, come on down to Happy Fun Times Abortion Clinic, because we bring out the kid in you. All right. It's okay to laugh at that, Jose. You guys can laugh. I think people should have commercials too, honestly. I think that everybody should have their own commercials so that before you start hanging out with them or before you get in a relationship, you can just watch that little commercial and make your decision. Because if it's made by the same people that make the fucking Dunkin' Donuts commercial or the fucking Skittles commercial, it's probably not going to happen. But I was thinking if that was the case, how would my commercial go? And I was like, oh, okay, I could see it now. It would be like me running in slow motion through this waist-high field of marijuana plants while the narrator goes down and recites this long list of negative side effects that come with exposure to Chad. Yeah, like some people exposed to Chad report extreme anxiety, depression, stress. Women under 40 report a loss of libido when exposed to Chad. Some people report mustardy drizzle as a side effect, hanging out with Chad Ridgely. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know what the living situation is like in Australia, but out here in LA, there's so many, like, rent's expensive. Everybody's got to live in these tiny little places with the thin walls, and like, it's really, what I'm getting at is if you're my neighbor and I've annoyed you with my noises and stuff, I apologize, because I recently came outside and I had a note on my door, an anonymous note. Have you guys ever got an anonymous note?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. Are you my neighbor? Or it said, you kept us all up last night with the sounds of your sex. Please be considerate. Signed, all of us at Coldwater Apartments. And at first I was embarrassed. I was like, ooh, maybe it was a little bit loud last night. But then I read it again and I internalized that shit. And I was like, wait a minute, be considerate. They should be considerate to me. I get laid like once a quarter. You know? It's not like it even takes a long time. 45, 55 seconds, you know. They should be like cheering me on. Hey, Chad made it a minute. Car alarms take longer to finish than I do. But I can kind of relate. I've left my share of anonymous notes myself. I was coming out of the grocery store, I was in a big hurry. Somebody had blocked my car in, so I couldn't back the car out, and I was very upset. So I let all the air out of both their front tires. And then I left them a little anonymous note of my own. I said, thanks for blocking me in, asshole. I guess you think you're all special because you're driving a big old ambulance. Who knew paramedics could wrestle? Wow. But that brings me to my recent trip to urgent care. How come there's actually really nothing urgent or caring about urgent care? Is it just me? Like, they should change the name from urgent care to maybe like slow indifference. Bordering on bitterness. Like, I went into this place, I had to go in, I went into this party. The great thing about LA, the Workaholics party tonight is gonna be off the chain, but I don't know how long you're out here. The parties out here are amazing, but just keep your guard up. Keep your guard up, because I was at a party here in the Valley, and as soon as I walked in, this shit-faced girl walks up to me, and before she says a word, she just looks at my shoes, and then jammed her 4-inch stiletto heel into the top of my foot, which hurt like a son of a bitch. And I was like, what the fuck did you do that for? And she's like, I just wanted to see if they're real. Now, I don't know if she meant the shoes, or like if anything was real at that point. But I did what I think anybody else would do in that circumstance. I punched her right in the tit. So, you know, she kind of looks down at it, and then she's like, what did you do that for? And I was like, I just wanted to see if they were real. Give me my copay, bitch. So I go to urgent care. By the way, I go in, it's like, it says 24-hour urgent care. Walk in and sign in, pay them, and then they're like, oh, okay, Mr. Ridgely, well, it's gonna be a little while because there's no doctor here right now. And I was like, it says 24-hour urgent care, and they're like, oh yeah, it is. We're open 24 hours. He's just not at this location. He's going to be traveling here from somewhere else. And I was like, okay, this is where that would be important to know. Like, if that would be, like, if you had said free mustardy drizzle here, I might have come, but you know, if I got to wait for the doctor, that's not happening. But I did look. There was another place very close to it. It was called More Than Urgent Care. No bullshit, another real name. And I'm like, why is it called More Than Urgent Care? Does it cost more than urgent care? Because I can't imagine that they care more than urgent care. Anyway, I got my foot fixed. Got a trip. I just went to Hawaii, did some comedy shows out in Hawaii. By the way, if you haven't been to Hawaii, I recommend it. But if you order any of the stuff there, like if they ask you if you want it regular or Hawaiian style,
Mahola, motherfucker.
yes, you have to shout that. You have to shout whatever that word was. Just shout that. But no, just get it regular style, because Hawaiian style is the exact same thing. It's just $18 more. Everything is more expensive there. I went in the water. The water was very nice and clear, which is good because it helps alleviate my terrifying fear of sharks. And for people like me, they had this whole section roped off that was roped off. It was like a big football field area of the ocean that you could go in, and it had a big net around it, so you could see that no sharks could get in. And it was very reassuring to me. I got farther out than I ever went, and then when I got there, to the end, I realized that there was like this 30-foot gaping hole in the netting, which meant to me, the sharks could get in. And if they could get in, I mean, can they find their way? I mean, they probably couldn't get back out. They probably don't know. I mean, do sharks know how to follow, or they just drive around the ocean eating? I don't know. Anyway, there weren't any sharks, but there are a lot of jellyfish. Lots and lots of jellyfish. And here's the thing about jellyfish. After the 6th or 7th sting, you can't even feel it anymore. It's really amazing. Anyway, that's my time. I'm Chad Ridgely. Thank you guys so much. Workaholics. Oh, yeah. Give it up to the Workaholics Comedy Jam. Here's your hostess, Maggie Mayfield.
It's a lot littler up here. Give it up for Chad Ridgely, you guys!